So, thanks to Netflix, though, I was able to wash that sour taste out my mouth, that blonde left in me, with Intergalactic, right? This
Right.
is a well, it's not so much a movie, like a movie release per se. It's actually a TV special. That actually surprised me, like, but it's on Netflix, but it's not like it's on some network TV, like, sorry, network station like ABC, whatever. But you call it a TV special, not really a movie per se, but it is a movie technically, right? But for now, we'll go TV special, right? Um, so the reason why I wanted to check this out, obviously, is because the guy who created it, that would be Kid Cudi, right? He has been an artist that I wouldn't call myself the biggest fan of Kid Cudi, though, but I will lie though, when he dropped Man the Moon back in, I think it was 2009. Yeah, I was on a hype train early on there, man. I mean, like Day and Night, Make 'em Say, those were hits, those were huge hits, right? But that's like, that the guy himself, right? Kid Cudi himself, right? Scott Mescudi, right? Mescudi, right? He
Yeah.
just kind of came off as this, this lovable stoner, right? Who, he could sing, he could rap. He's not the best singer, and he's not, the best rapper, but he could do both very well, right? And
Yeah.
like the framing of that album, Man in the Moon, right? Still a great album, in my opinion, right? This person who's going through loneliness and just kind of escaping the world through drugs and psychedelic drugs and all that kind of stuff now, and him trying to find his foot back on solid ground. That's really what that album was about, right? There was the sequel, which introduced the character of Mr. Regia. I was really interested that that character, I assume is the same character, shows up here in this film, right? But yeah,
Right.
essentially, when it came to just alternative psychedelic hip hop, yeah, Kid Cudi was that guy, right? And then across the years, of course, he would team up with Kanye West. They had that great album, Kids See Ghosts.
Yeah.
Um, Last time they were together was on that one track, Rock and Roll, off of It's Almost Dry. I mean, but yeah, Kanye make it official on his Done the Two album. Like, yeah, we not working together, Dre. Like, you're not gonna be on my mama album, as he said, right? But yeah, I mean, he just fit that right pocket in terms of, all right, I just don't want, like, if like, there's a place for hardcore hip hop, there's a place for gangster rap, there's a place for culture hip hop, right? But what if I just want to listen to something that I could just more or less like the equivalent of getting high too, right? But it isn't about getting high, but it's kind of learning about yourself and just like being human and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I go to Kid Cudi, right? So yeah, so when I heard that he was dropping an animated film, I was like, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense, given the
Right.
type of guy that he is, right? The creative mind that he is, right? And he was hooking up with Kenya Barris, you know what I mean? Who is the creator of course, Blackish, right? Great show, right?
Right.
And but what catch me though, and is, I actually saw not so much a trailer. Sorry, I didn't see the trailer of it. I saw a scene of it because they showed it at Tudum, right? This year's
Right.
Tudum. Um, we're actually getting a romantic comedy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Kid Cudi playing, a guy, by the name of Jabari, right?
Yeah.
Very much, he's very much playing himself, right?
Pretty
That's the
much. Yeah.
best way I could
Right.
describe it,
Pretty
right?
much. Yeah.
And yeah, he just hooks up with this really fine looking woman, and it's
Well,
just they hit it
well,
up, right?
it's two fine women we talking about.
Oh,
Who we
right,
talking
right, right,
about?
right, right.
Laura
There's
Harrier
two, right?
or Jessica Williams?
Yeah, well, I was thinking Jessica Williams, right? So there's the
Right.
ex, and then there's the new girl, right?
Yeah.
The ex girl and the next girl, right? So we have those two, right? And but last thing I'll say before, well, I want you to do the synopsis for this, Ricardo, and if anything, you can talk about what you actually think about Kid Cudi's work, right?
Right.
It's a black romantic film, right? And
Right.
let's
Right.
say that we haven't had these things over the years, but because there's stuff like Love Jones or Love and Basketball and whatnot, right?
Right.
But I've never seen one animated. I've never seen one like that before. That's
Right.
that's the that's the
I
real
was
sell of this movie.
I
I've
was a
never seen
little
a black romantic movie
yeah, I was a
animated
little
before.
I was a little disappointed in it because I thought it would have done something a little different than the typical black romantic comedy. Like it's a script that if
Oh,
it
okay,
came
okay,
out,
okay.
there's a script that if it came out in a little earlier time, it'll be starring Morris Chestnut, right? Um,
I know, right?
right. It's
Love and Basketball, right? Yeah, it
right,
does have a late 90s, early 2000s feel to it. I
right.
would confess. I'll
But
confess that.
because the material is pretty like because of the style again, this is kind of a style over substance situation, right? Which is not bad in this case because the style is very good. It was fine. Like I don't have a big issue with the idea of it in that sense. and they make it work for what they're trying to do. Um,
Right. Before I get to the synopsis, anything you just want to say on, Kid Cudi as a musician, like his work ever stuck out to you, or no?
yeah, not really. Again, he's one of those that he always there. I kind of write him off as a kind of new. This very unfair, but again, it's just more me not just not paying attention. Oh gosh, was our boy named Kick Pushner.
Or
Oh
like
gosh.
a Lupe,
All right,
or he's for the backpack crowd or something.
right. He also like a slightly younger Lupe, like Lupe little brother. That's all kind of just think about. Again,
Wow.
not fair, not the most fair because again, I haven't paid too much attention to either careers in that sense. But that's how like again, marketing wise, that's how I kind of off the brand think about him now. It's like all right, he kind of cater to a crowd that is he the all black boy crowd kind of. That's how I
Bingo,
just
bingo.
and I've already paid too
And,
much.
and and you could kind of say if it wasn't for him, for better or for worse, you would have guys like Childish Gambino who kind of fit within that crowd now.
Exactly.
They could rap, but they could be a little bit more expressive when it comes to the music.
Yeah,
That's really what.
they're trying to be deep, but potential. Sadly, some of them be kind of a little too fake deep for my liking. But they're still fine. Like they're still very talented dudes, and I can't take away anything from that in that sense. Um, but yeah, that's all I think. And then, well, I really enjoyed, but I really enjoyed this album with Kanye. I thought that was pretty good. Um, so that way it is. Like I'm not overthinking it or anything like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Well, just keep in mind, folks. I am not a big super fan, but I do appreciate what he has brought in terms of hip hop, right? But
right,
yeah, Ricardo, take it away. What is Intergalactic about?
right. So yeah, as you mentioned, he plays this artist named Jarari who falls in love with another artist. Um, not too dong bad, but they mention a bunch of things.
Right. By
Originally,
the name
I
of Meadows. Sorry, by the way.
Meadow, right? Yeah, this is played by. So I haven't seen Jessica Williams in a hot minute. I think the last time we saw her, last time I remember seeing her, she had a show called The Incredible Jessica James, I think, or The Amazing Jessica
Um,
James, or something like that. I think the
I
last time,
haven't seen that actually. No.
yeah, that was a little show, and that's like a kind of weird compliment to this, because that was another romantic comedy kind of thing. Um,
Okay. Right. Incredible Jessica James.
that's the last time I saw was
Oh,
the
right,
show.
right. No, no. I'm now seeing the poster here. Yes, I remember this.
You
I was
reviewed that?
supposed to watch. You
Did you
did. You
review?
did. I
Oh,
didn't.
I
I
did.
I
Okay,
didn't
okay,
see it.
no
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, anyway, so that's the last time I remember her. It's like, yeah, she was on the Daily Show. She's pretty cool. Yeah, she's a cool little up and come. Like I can't say up and come at this point because it's a hot minute that she career kind of end from Daily Show. But she was on Daily Show. She thing. She pretty cute, and I like her a lot. In her material. She didn't do anything to blow me away yet. But in terms of humor, she's not there for me to be honest. But it's like whatever, it's fine. Um, but they make it work for what it is in terms of her career and her attempts at getting her foot in the door. And she's pretty good in this. The animation style is very reminiscent of Spider Verse. It's clearly that this kind of stop motiony, halfway kind of thing, choppy-ish, but it make it look work for what we're trying to do. And I can't be mad at any of that. So yeah, that's how I feel about most of it. But yeah, Jabari, he's a artist. I forget the name of his comic character. So yeah, it's just get them getting together, and then it's just a straightforward, more romantic comedy with two family members, two girls. She have a roommate who's pregnant. Apparently, this Asian woman. I forget her name.
Yeah. Let's just put up the name. This is Karina, who is voiced by Vanessa Hudgens. Though
Right.
that
It
catch me
have
because
it have
I
a
didn't know that
decent
she was in this.
cast.
Sorry.
A decent cast in it. I think Ty Dolla Sign in this. Uh,
Yes.
yeah,
That is
he was okay.
his friend. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty funny in this. This fella, Timothy Chalamet in this for some reason. Like why?
I
Jaden
know,
Smith in
right?
this.
Like when I saw that name, I was like, wait, that's you, bro? Like,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Really?
okay, yeah,
But
okay,
it
right,
have some surprises to this too. Like case in point, Jaden Smith make an
right.
appearance, right? But
Right. I was to
Jaden Smith
mention.
have a
Right,
he have a voice. He have a distinct voice. So when you hear it, you know it's him,
yeah,
right? But
right.
the moment that really caught me by surprise though was Macaulay Culkin. Dread. He
Right,
plays this stoner guy called Downtown Pat, right? He has a
right,
great. He only has like one moment, but it's a great moment. A little a little love story, if you will, do. But like, I just listened to that voice, but I was so shocked to realize after the fact that was him, Dread.
Right.
Even Kid Cudi's own sister himself, Maisha,
Okay.
shows up as playing Jabari's older sister. I'm like,
Right.
okay,
And then
cool. Yeah.
Laura Harrier is his ex. We have a real shockingly toxic relationship with.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
she plays Carmen, by the way.
Right. Right. That's yeah. I don't think that is by design, but whatever. But yeah, that is what they do with it. They just is him navigating that and then just kind of fall in love and they play it straightforward. I didn't think it was at first. I thought it was the way they take it. I thought the Jessica James character was either bisexual or gay because the way they had her with the friend and the pictures he was taking. So I thought
I thought the same thing too.
right, but
But then there's
I
a
thought
moment where she mentions husband.
right,
Karina's husband. I was like,
right.
oh, okay. So
Yeah,
they're more BFFs. So
right.
yeah.
But I thought he was doing that. So I thought he was going to get some chasing DB bullshit. No. But that would have might have made an interesting story. To be honest. But no, we just a pretty straightforward thing. No big twists or anything like that. Just two people, artsy, weird, they're successful, they fall in love, and then they make it like a bunch of like. It felt like a bunch of series of, and again, it's up to you if how you feel about this. But it felt like a series of what do you call it? Like a bunch of music videos strung together, right? It's one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the term for that. It's a bunch of like a video, more like a video. It's slipping my mind right now.
Not montage. Not
No, like
collage.
the way it's called is so like it's just more like a display thing. Like it's like the wall. It's like the wall. It's
Yes,
a
yes, you're
story,
right. Where it's a
but
story, but like you could take
right,
scenes out and they play like
right,
music videos. Yeah, you're right.
right,
You're right.
effectively. I forget what it's called the term for that, but whatever.
Mm.
It's that. It felt like that, and I wasn't too bored with it because it is still a solid enough story, but pretty straightforward. I really thought they would have done something more interesting and deeper with it. Nope, not really. But that was it in and out. Everybody looked good. The art style looked great. Again, it's the Spider-Verse stuff. Not that much different from that. And I dug it for what it was. But it wasn't really anything to write home about because the story wasn't that interesting. Like in terms of the characters and the bouncing off each other. It was just really standard rom-com stuff. Yes, it's black and yes, it's animated and stylistic. But this is literally the epitome of style over substance, right? I know I used that as a big insult last time, but this time, for Blonde, but for this time, it is that is what it is. Like I'm not trying to pull it down or anything like that. That is effectively what it is. But I was expecting something more interesting and deeper, or a big twisted rom-com formula. But nope, it's pretty formulaic. As I said, if this was pitched 10 or 15 years ago, it would have been starring Morris Chestnut, right, and probably Gabrielle Union, right? Not sure, right? And maybe Tyler Perry might have been involved somewhere. That's how I feel about it. It's not great, like in that sense, but I didn't hate it. It's fine. Rating 7 out of 10. It's the animation make it work. Characterization pretty funny. The jokes is still dude bro talking about the girl and hey you ain't fuck the girl yet, and then the other friend say some funny shit and oh she fucked this cheap boy in some Japanese restaurant. All right,
Yeah,
that kind of
for
funny.
reasons, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of funny.
It's a typical romantic comedy
Very,
trope,
very
right?
typical.
Yeah,
And it's a little too
typical.
formulaic for my liking. A little too formulaic. Or it's something that could be starring Matthew McConaughey back,
Oh
20
god.
years ago.
Oh gosh.
Or oh god, what's your name? That girl was in fucking everything for a
Oh,
while.
the Julia Roberts, no.
No. She come out of Grey's Anatomy. What was she name again? Heidel something or something like that. Was she? A girl was in Grey's Anatomy.
Oh,
She was in
Catherine
a
Heigl. Oh, wait.
yeah.
I forget about
Right.
wow.
I mean,
I
had a
forgot about
ton
her,
of,
Jen.
she
I
was in a
forgot about her,
ton of those
Jesus.
for a while.
Yeah.
Is that it feel like that, but it's black people, it's New York, they make it cool, they make it stylistic, it looks slick and sexy, but that's about it. And I couldn't see myself giving us a second watch or anything like that. I can't in good conscience say it's too special, but it's good, it's fine, very talented, the music was cool. Like I like the fact that he was going into this mental space ever so often, but again that was the music video stuff that is up to you how you feel about that. Because I forget the name of this character. He's a comic book character that he's selling or it get
Mr. Rager. Yeah.
right. That's about it. In and out. 7 out of 10. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. I do.
Right.
Maybe perhaps it's because I watched this right after Blonde. I just needed
Right.
something to pick my spirits up.
Right.
Maybe that is why I enjoy the show so much, man.
Right.
I had a blast watch this too. It was just like a burst of energy and color and just love,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I needed that after what I saw with Blood, man. I mean, no offense,
Right,
right?
right.
Now, to be fair, like Intergalactic is not some top tier, stellar, amazing movie, right? It's that it does not reinvent the wheel in terms of romantic comedies or depictions of black love, if you want to call it that, right?
Yeah,
But the animation is what gives it its uniqueness. So I think that the animation, works totally works, right? It is a style that you had to get used to going in, right? Because yes, it does look a lot like into Spider-Verse, right? That's the easiest, comparison, right? But ever so often, like, it does that thing where characters move and you feel like it kind of skips a frame a bit and then just moves forward, like when a
right. Yeah,
character steps.
yeah, yeah.
It does that
Yeah,
kind of thing where it
yeah.
could feel a little janky.
Right.
Um, I was watching this at first, like, even when I saw the little snippet at Tudum too, right? I was like, wait, that's how this style look like. Why it looking so jerky, boy? So even watching this though, I had to kind of condition myself to it. But once I got into it, I was like, yeah, I'm in, right? And also because it has this slightly surrealist style to everything, it works as well too, right? What I wish we got a little bit more of, is more of like Jabari's viewpoint of the world, right? So yes, there are moments where he is under the influence, and you see everything looks kind of weird and whatnot. Sometimes it's pure euphoria, right? Like when he meets Meadow for the first time, right? And
Right, right.
well, like what you see, for example, where where he's on his bike and she's behind
Yeah,
him, and that
yeah.
that stuff is
Yeah,
great, right?
there's a
But
lot
that's
of
all
good.
like euphoria stuff, and
Yeah, no, you're right.
because
There's a lot
you're
of good.
playing it with what's that before because you're slapping on Kid Cudi's music to it, right? I'll talk about the soundtrack in a bit. Yes, you do get that music video style. It's almost like you're watching a visualizer, you know what I mean, video before
Right.
the
Yeah,
official video comes out. That's how it feels like, but it totally works
yeah.
in this context.
I don't know. There's a lot of good emotional conceit there. Like again, his perspective, how he feel like he have a dream, and sometimes it's like you're not sure if it's because of his imagination and a comic, because of the comic and stuff like that. Like I don't mind stuff like that, but again, it's very music video. Like it's pure visuals, and it's up to you if you're feeling. And as I say, you don't mind the animation. You don't like the animation, but I didn't mind that. I didn't have a problem with
No,
technical.
I said it took a while. It took a little while for
Right.
it to get into the movement aspect of it. Is what took me
Okay. Yeah.
a while to
I
get adjusted.
never. Right. Well, I never had a problem with it. It was like perfectly fine for me in that sense. Like I get what it was going for. It's fine. Like it's not like it was. It's not like it's frame rate, high frame rate, low frame rate thing. Right. It's fine. It's whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Now. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, all right, all right. Also there's the I actually thought was a really kick-ass moment involving this sort of like nightmare sequence he has involving Mr. Reacher, but it all stems on a rather interesting subplot, even though they don't really delve into too much, involving Jabari being pretty much employed in this comic book company, right? And they just basically, the high ups basically tell Jabari that, yo, your mystery is just a little too dark, Trinity. Maybe you should kind of lighten it up a bit. So, like in the dream, he kind of pictures himself running away from this a dark version of it, and then the lighter version shows up. And just
Right.
literally the same character, but just in white. But
That
just how
that
stylistically,
that
how it looks is really cool. It has that scene in particular remind me a lot of Into the Spider-Verse, especially with where the camera goes into and how it just kind of
yeah.
feels like this spiral or this abyss that this character is going through. That totally work, right? I felt we could
That
have got like a little bit more fantastical moments in there.
that
We
whole
don't really get that, but
no, that whole subplot is just feel like a straight Dwayne McDuffie having to deal with DC thing. Just look at what
oh,
Earth's.
dude, you
Yeah,
know, as I bring up
right,
that I
right.
actually watched Milestone Generations, right?
Yes,
Great
yeah,
documentary, by the way. And yeah,
yeah.
while I was watching this, in
Same.
addition to just envy the fact that motherfuckers could go to New York and get this work in comic book companies for a living and just be in just sit with a Wacom tablet, just draw shit all day.
Yeah,
Ah! But anyway, but yeah, while I was seeing that and the whole compromise in terms of your
yep,
art, your characters, yeah, I was thinking Dwayne McDuffie as well
yeah.
too.
Because I just look at
There's one moment actually, sorry to cut you, there's one moment involving the first date, right? That's Jabari and Meadows' first date, right? And Meadow says something, well, because Jabari mentioned the whole Mr. Regis stuff, because it started off as graffiti, right? And she was familiar with it, right? But she says, don't let him Deadpool that shit. And I
Right.
put a pin on it. I was like, all right, I need to think about that line though, because I know there's a lot to that line, but I just never got around to it. You understand what she meant by that? Like, I don't know if it had to do with the creators of
Yeah.
Deadpool or how Deadpool became. I know it's a meta thing, but I just thought you maybe know what they was trying to say there.
No, yeah, that's what it is. It's just again the same. You're going mainstream now, and this kind of weird selling out that they have a whole conceit for it. So that's about it.
Oh, okay. I thought it
Yeah.
was way more complex than that.
Nah, I don't think so. But it's again the if you look at early static versus the static that we know from the kids WB now, like it's that.
Yes,
It's
yes.
clearly like what they're trying to do or say in that sense. So yeah, they could have do more with it and make it deeper, but no, they focus on the romantic comedy part of it, which I felt wasn't interesting. But whatever.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I do wish that they delved just a little bit more. I know this is not the point of the show, but you literally stopped to show me this whole conflict that this character have with his employers about his own character, right? So I felt they could have delved just a little bit more into it, right? The music itself, though, well, I know that the soundtrack came out the day before this film came out, right? I have it on my to listen list, but from what I've heard, it's decent though, really decent, right? But again, you have to be a Kid Cudi fan. You gotta be,
Right.
yeah. You gotta know of his style, right? It's that sort of alternative electronic music based sort of hip hop, part singing, part rapping. Even as a song early on with Andrew 2000. I think Andrew does the hook in it.
Right.
Unfortunately,
Right.
maybe if I listen to the full song, maybe he do a verse. I mean, you're not gonna bring Andrew just to do a hook. God damn it! Like, how do you man do a verse, right? But I'll hear the song when I get a chance, right? But yeah, for what I've heard, it totally fits the world of this, right? Where yeah, it is modern, it's upbeat, it's bright, it's colorful, and all that kind of stuff, right? One of the big surprises though was Ty Dolla Sign though. Like he
Yeah.
shines in this. Like I like that he is that stoner friend to Jabari, and yes, they're all stoners, of course. But yeah, he was just that guy who I love his little love story, if you will, involving this woman, this white woman. The payoff for that was great in my opinion, right? And I know for some people they might find like those are just detours from the story, like they don't make no sense. It just kind of just there to make the film even spicy and whatnot. 'Cause honestly, when I went into this thing, I didn't even think about rating, but yeah, it was a rating. This is a TVMA dread. This feels
Right.
very much like you're watching something like a like Insecure or
Right.
Rhapsody, right? It's
Right.
like
Right.
that,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Right.
But it totally fits too. And I mean, it's New York trend, so I mean, and is that lifestyle, right? Again, it's millennials in New York doing stuff that I wish that I could do. Like no, like them living in fancy apartments, they working
Yeah.
great
Well, that's
jobs,
that's a
able
big
to go out
fantasy.
and
Yeah.
hang out
When
in
you're up.
clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's the friends fantasy? Um, because
I know,
nobody
but
can live that way.
I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
That friends. That friends. Yeah.
Oh, I want to be a part of that, right? Like even like Meadow, for example, she a photographer and she making it big and she has
Yeah.
shown
Yeah.
art shown in
Yeah.
this gallery. It's like
In our old studio
that's the kind
apartment.
of
Yeah.
stuff you want to do,
Yeah.
bro. But
That's a double trip. That's a double.
ah,
Yeah.
no, but it's a fantasy that I buy into a lot though.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
just to touch on Meadow and Jabari though, love the chemistry between the two of them though. And um I mean, Jessica Williams is great though as Meadow, right? And
Yeah.
points for the design of Meadow though. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say. I could totally see why Jabari will fall head over heels, literally head over heels off of this girl Dread the moment he sees her Dread. Damn, right? Carmen is a body too.
I
Carmen
mean,
is a body too, right? But
yeah. Yeah.
I
But she
could
looked
I
like.
could
I mean,
see why
she looked like Laura Harrier, so you can't go wrong with that. But still.
exactly, and you could kind of see why Jabari could be like real, love struck over her as well too, even though like why they not together make a lot of sense, right? Um, and I was actually surprised with Kid Cudi's acting, his voice
Right.
acting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the man do a great job, though I must say. Like I thought that he would not so much half-assed, but just not really committed. But the man do it. He do it bad. That's it with Ty Dolla Sign as well too. Because yeah, essentially they beat themselves, but they do that little extra acting as well too. And I thought that yeah, they pull it off well, man. But yeah, I mean the relationship between Jabari and Meadow is great though. You just have the feels every time you see them. And yes, I do agree with you, Ricardo. It does fall into the formula of romantic comedies. You know what's
Yeah,
gonna happen, right? They get together, something happens, they split up, but the something that happened comes completely by surprise for me, and it is very plausible, right? I love how the situation is resolved, though. I thought that was very, very smart, very mature. And yeah, they do hook back up together, and you know they're gonna hook back up, right? Even the way how it plays out is like, yeah, it's kind of like a romantic comedy 101 stuff, right? But really, it's just how fresh and modern it was, right? Because yeah, again, you don't really see that much, black romantic comedies or dramas, right? And here
right.
this one kind of shows up and it's animated and it looks very vibrant and different, right? But if you go into this expecting something totally different, you're not gonna get that, right? But for me, it just warmed my heart. It just gave me this fantasy that I just enjoy for like an hour and a half. And you got some pretty decent music, man. You know what I mean? From Kid Cudi of all people, right? So yes, I really enjoyed this one. Oh yes, I forgot to mention 2 points for the shout out near the end to Virgil Abloh, man. They did that near the end, man. How they
Okay,
put
right.
off too was great, man. Slight spoiler, it involves a particular app that is being advertised through the entirety of the show. And
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that that moment where you saw the Virgil
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, yeah, yeah,
there's this news report about the app. And I was like,
yeah, yeah,
that's clever. I like that. I like that.
yeah, yeah.
I very much like that. That's smart, man. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for me, rated wise, I'm gonna give this a strong 4 to 5, man. I really really dug this though. I could definitely see this showing up as not so much best movies, but best TV, right? Because yes, I am treating this thing as a TV special, right? Um, I think the whole TV special thing is a huge stretch because you're playing it one as if it's some is something that's gonna be so revolutionary that's gonna change the face of television. No, not really. It's just one of many films you could watch on Netflix, right?
You're
And
right.
two, Kid Cudi, as much of an influence he is on modern hip hop today, like he is no Kendrick Lamar, he is no Jay Z. He's not like, oh my God, Jay Z putting out a film. All right, I need to see that, and it's
You're
gonna
right.
be on Netflix. All right, that gonna be huge, right? It's not like that. Like his name not gonna draw a huge crowd, right? So I would say that if you just see the trailer and you just dig the artwork and you're a fan of Kid Cudi and you just enjoy romantic comedies or you at least want to see something a bit different in that regard, then yeah, definitely check out Entergalactic, man. You will enjoy it.